Hello and welcome back. More to the point, I'm back. If you're new to my channel, I'm Deirdre and I've just had the longest break I think I've ever had from my channel. I've been on holiday and I caught up occasionally through there, but not very well. And then coming back, I was wiped out by jet lag. So the last couple of weeks have really been just sort of recovery time, which sounds dreadful, doesn't it? It also busy because I've been catching up with things I had to catch up on since I've been away. But it's more the jet lag, that west to east travel, coming from London back to Melbourne, that one just zapped me. I mean, I still kept going, but it was just, I was sort of a bit of a zombie. And I didn't have any real motivation to do much other than the things I really had to get done. So now I'm feeling back to normal, and here I am. So today, I thought I'd talk about some of the favourites that I had on my trip, things that I really enjoyed doing for any of you who are looking at travel coming up in the next few months. So today, I want to talk about my sort of top favourite all sorts of things that I found along the way. Nothing in particular, but just sort of a general mishmash. Number one was that as I was travelling over, I had taken like a duffel bag as a carry-on, and because I'm so sick of wheelies, I'm really sick of wheelies. They take up so much space, they're difficult to handle. I know everybody loves wheelies, I am not one of them. So I thought, right, something I can carry, that way I can move much more easily. Okay, so I packed the duffel and it was too heavy. The reality was it was too big. So for the trip back, I changed up and bought duty-free on special and switched everything in. It's bulletproof, packs down to nothing if you don't want to be using it. Really strong, it's the perfect size. So for me, I can put that over my shoulder, carry my ordinary handbag, tote, whatever I'm using on the other, and that fitted perfectly for things like my wireless headphones, which are going to come out in one of my favourites again. These are just the best. They fold down to nothing. Watch out for duty-free specials, because not only do you get duty-free, but you get duty-free with a discount. They were a fabulous buy. Completely noise cancelling and no wires, you don't have to think about it. So they were in that tote, as was, of course, my perennial baby, my lovely little MacBook, which goes everywhere with me. I just covered the top with some marbled contact because I got sick of looking at the Apple stuff. Right, what else went into it? Oh, now this was an unlikely favourite, but boy, it's still an ongoing favourite. It's a thermos. It keeps fluids hot for about 8 hours. You put your loose tea into here, pour the boiling water in the top, and screw it down. Voila, perfect. This I used a lot on the plane, so it stopped me having to get up every 5 minutes and saying, can I have a drink, I need a warm tea or whatever, doing anything. So this meant I could have my own. I was using some Tea2, which is an Australian brand. Beautiful, beautiful teas, all sorts of herbals, as well as black teas and green teas and white teas and chais and everything. But so I had a wonderful mixture of those, and I just used those on the plane, but I also used them just when I was staying with my friends. I would just make it up at night, and that gave me a warm drink in the morning, if I woke funny hours because of the mix-up in the time zones, all sorts of things. So that is a winner, a little light flask that you can make tea in. And if you don't want to have tea, you just take out that little bit in the middle, or leave it there I suppose, and just use it for water or anything you like really. That fitted also into my tote bag beautifully, along with, of course, because it's me, my bullet journal, so that my life wouldn't end, wherever my bullet journal goes, my pencil case goes. I know, I'm 12. Anyway, that's me, so they also fitted in there. And of course, the inevitable, my camera. I'm doing this on my phone, but my camera was used to death. That was such a favourite. And yes, I do use the Manfrotto little tripod. It's a little tripod if you want it to be, but I basically use it to hold it with because it knocks out some of the shake, and it also gives you a little bit of extra clearance and stability. So my little camera got used a lot, and I actually did start to use it properly as a vlogging camera and walk around the streets being the mad person talking to herself. But that's okay, I enjoyed that, and you saw some of it, and there's a lot more, and I will put out some more of my travel sort of snaps as I went along, putting them together. I've got a couple that are nearly together, but I wanted to say hello again instead of just having those, and they take a lot more time than something like this. There's a lot of effort when you put a vlog together from your bits and pieces from your travel. So that was another thing that went in my tote, because I don't leave that out of my sight. Now, one of my absolute favourite things in the whole trip was, of course, just getting around London. It's so easy. Everywhere is just so easy to reach, and it's made for people not having cars. Now, a lot of cars, obviously. It's London. There are a lot of cabs. There are a lot of Ubers, which are fabulous. Didn't use cabs, but did use Uber when I was with my friend. But mainly, I used the tube and the buses. And the tube is amazing. And I was staying right between two tube stations, so it was 5 minutes one way and 4 minutes the other. The 4-minute one was even a connection to one of the cross above ground lines, so it just made everything so easy. So if you're going to London, just accept that you will use the tube. Accept that you're going to be underground. Don't think about it. Don't think, hey, I'm going down lots of really, really deep staircases. They are incredibly steep. You just stand there on the right, always stand on the right, and you hold on if it worries you. And if it worries you that you're touching something that everybody else is touching, then take some hand sanitizer. But whatever you do, just stand there quietly on the right side and just go down. And they keep going, and they are really steep. They just go choong straight down. And then sometimes you get off and they go choong down again. And you are seriously deep underground. But it works. It works like clockwork. It's so fast. There's a train every few minutes, and you know where you're going. You can just look up on their very simple little charts, which line are you on, which line do you need to get to. They're colour coded, and I would really encourage you to just own the tube, to say, hey, this is something I am going to learn. I am going to get this right, because they're magic. But if you don't like the tube, or if it is a beautiful sunny day and you don't want to miss it, then take one of the buses, because the buses are almost as good. They get a bit clogged up sometimes in the normal traffic, but apart from that, they are fabulous. Double-decker buses, and you sit up there and the world is out there, and you get to see the city as you pass through it, which is also great. And then you come to my other favourite way of getting around, which was on my feet. And I walked and walked and walked and walked, and it was wonderful. I've sort of come home with this attitude about, oh, can I just walk there? I've changed my approach. I'm not automatically getting in my car. I just walk, and that's a really big plus as well. One day I just spent the whole day walking and just loving every minute of it. And then I got to the end and I checked on Google to see where I'd been, and I'd walked for 22 kilometres, which is quite a decent day's walk, really. And I've got that day, quite a lot of it vlogged, so I will definitely do that one. When you're walking, or in my case I'm walking and vlogging, but the last thing you need is to be worrying about your bag. So I had two sorts of days. I had days when I was going shopping and days when I was just going to walk. If I was walking and looking, this one, my little crossbody Kate Spade bag came with me. That actually fits my camera perfectly well, so it's much bigger than it seems. So that was a great bag because it's quite broad and it fits my vlogging camera with the tripod and anything else I was carrying, like my sunglasses or switching out to ordinary glasses, that sort of thing. On the days when I was shopping, I used this fabulous bag that I borrowed from a friend, and it's enormous. So it pops out, it has extra space. I mean, it's a fantastic bag. And it also has special protection in it so that your cards can't be zapped by people walking past you and your identity stolen. And it's by PackSafe, and it's a really, really good bag. Tons of space, lots of different compartments, so, and great colour. And once again, crossbody, so don't have to have hands. So that was my go-to on days when I knew that I'd be, bringing stuff back with me. The thing about the days when I had this is that my dear old Oraton wallet, along with my camera, just didn't fit. I think the days of these big wallets may have done their time, because I'm now using this tiny little purse, change purse really, and that's just got a little flip at the front and a couple of card slots at the back. And that was all I needed. I had my Oyster card, which was the way you travel on the tube and the buses, and a couple of credit cards, and that was all I needed. And because I don't think I used cash the entire time I was in London. I mean, just not once, not for anything. You don't use money, you don't use old-fashioned money, you just use electronic. I use a debit card when I'm away, so I'm carefully tracking what is coming out. But I barely even used this, and let me tell you why. Because I have almost completely gone over to using my phone, and just instead of tapping a card on the wireless thing in the store, I now just pay with my phone. I just tap my phone and pay with my thumbprint, and I think it's probably safer. It can't be read like these things can be. It can't work if it's not got my thumbprint on it. So I think overall it's probably safer, and it's certainly easier because we always travel with our phones, and that's another thing that obviously has to go in the bag. So what did I buy? Well, because I loved this big bag so much when I was going around the city, when this one caught my eye, it came home with me. It's by Bimba Ilola, if that's the way you say it, please correct me. Gorgeous bag. It's in sort of that ripstop nylon, but gold hardware. And there's so much room in here. So I've got room in here for my vlogging camera, there's lots of stuff in there at the moment. Vlogging camera, my headphones, little ones, all that sort of thing. Lots of little zips and pockets. And it's amazing. It's got little ones on the end. So it's got a ton of space, and it's small and it's light, and I can just wear it crossbody, or I can adjust the strap up and have it basically as a shoulder strap, or just carry it. So that is a beautiful piece that came home with me. So that was one thing that came home. Now the other thing is that, of course, London, you're full of makeup and skincare products and beautiful things, and I'll just give you a little taste of what I found, because you might have guessed, I mean, I don't wear a lot of makeup, but I like it to be good quality when I do, because I do look after my skin, because all the makeup in the world doesn't count if your skin looks dry and just not healthy. So I do look after my skin. I do wear a little bit of makeup, but not a lot, and I did buy just a few things. But if you would like me to talk about skincare, then leave a comment below and tell me what you'd like to know. That's what I'm here for. But just as a little taste of what I might have bought, let's start off. I have a beautiful By Terry palette. There are the beautiful sort of soft shades in there that are perfect. And that's the Happy Sun designer palette. Following on, this one is my current favourite, and this is the By Terry. It's called Balm de Rose, and it's for your lips. It smells amazing. So that has really helped my poor dry, been on the plane too long skin. Now this one is perfect. This is a Charlotte Tilbury piece, and at one end you have let me see, one end it is a lightener, and at the other end it's a concealer, and it's called the Mini Miracle Wand, and it's to basically make you look like you've had 8 hours sleep when you haven't. And when you're travelling, nothing can be better than that. And anything by Charlotte Tilbury is beautiful. So these are just a few of the things that came back. And another one was this beautiful Bobbi Brown palette. And this one is just a range of gorgeous hues, and there's a really nice sort of brick of blushes and sort of golden tones, and then straight out to the bronzer side. So that's a gorgeous palette that you can use from everything from eyes to cheeks to lips, probably, if you really wanted to. Incredibly finely milled, and that is the Highlight and Glow Shimmer Brick palette, and it's gorgeous. And the last one was something I haven't decided about yet. It's a Givenchy mascara, and it's really interesting. It's like a little comb, doesn't have a brush. It's like, I don't know if you can really see that. Let me see if you can see. It's got a little comb. You just use it to layer up. I don't have to worry about a lot of lengthening. And I found this rather nice. It's just sort of a bit odd to get used to when you've been used to having the brush and the little, spoolie brush. So I'll let you know what I really think about this as we go along. Well, that's about it. I think, what have I covered? Oh, there's one thing I've missed out. My favourite thing, obviously, is to see friends, and in this case, catch up with some friends I hadn't seen for a long time. And that was wonderful. But if I had to just narrow down one place in London that I thought was the best, well, there are two actually, but they're both in Hampstead. One was a garden called Fenton Gardens, it's in Hampstead. It's a National Trust property, or it might be English Heritage. I think it's English Heritage actually. The garden is magnificent. And if you follow me on Instagram, which you should do, there were some of my photos from that garden are in there, and it was just magic. It was like a little piece of paradise with wildlife meadow, with apple trees and cherry trees, and a beautiful glass house. There was a formal garden as well, very big formal lawns, just all these little rooms which were absolutely perfect. So that was one. And the second one is also Hampstead, and it's the Heath. And I have lost my heart to Hampstead Heath. It's beautiful for so many reasons. One, it's there, this giant green lung in the middle of London, and it just is full of animals and trees. There are ponds there for dog swimming, for men swimming, a bathing pool. There's a ladies' bathing pool tucked away a little further. There's a mixed bathing pool. There are special places that you can just find. It's lovely. You walk up to the top of Parliament Hill and there's London laid out in front of you. It was the most special thing, I think, about all of London. So if you are in London or going to London, make sure, rain or sun or perhaps even snow, have a look at Hampstead Heath and just enjoy it as wilderness in the middle of London. As you can guess, I have lost my heart completely to London. But that's the way it goes when you travel. Wherever you go, you love it the most until you come home, and home is pretty good too. So that's my little chat about what I've been doing. So if you enjoyed this, please subscribe, leave me a comment, say hello, give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll be back in a couple of days with another hello. I hope that whatever you're doing, that you're having a really lovely day. I will talk to you soon. Bye.